Instead of all right, you're right. It can be very difficult to understand if you're not a native.
I've never heard it.
Me neither.
It's not cool when I say it. Suddenly it sounds so sassy. Hello! As an American, like, we just think about that one strong one about like the memes about bottle of water, and then we don't really... I didn't know there were so many different accents.
Americans say ah.
Yeah.
Oh.
Water. Well, I say water.
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 So we don't have the R, strong R sound.
And like the T, I think.
They say D instead of
Yeah. RP is received pronunciation, and it is widely known as the British accent. It's taught in language schools, widely used by the media in the UK as well. Posh is, it's slang. It's to describe people who say their T's. So we'd say letter rather than letter. Received pronunciation is also called the Queen's English. People think that well-educated or higher class individuals have the RP or posh accent. The pronunciation is different. So for example, tissue instead of tissue.
Oh.
There are some words, like I would say serviette instead of a napkin. For a paper napkin, it's actually serviette.
I've never heard of that.
Like you were saying, the bottle of water. Some people don't say their T's. There's also an accent called Cockney, where the characteristics are more like you wouldn't, it's very relaxed. Sometimes you don't even understand what they're saying.
Like, I'll see some videos or like movies sometimes, and I swear I don't know a single thing they said. I wonder, like, is something wrong with me?
For example, people who have a Cockney accent usually would say F instead of TH. So I would say think, but perhaps someone with a Cockney accent would say think.
In that regard, I might be able to understand them because it kind of sounds like Southern people a little bit. Not like, oh, it's a Cockney accent, but more like the Americanized, Southernized version maybe. Sometimes I think it's similar, like with the F sounds especially.
They also say stuff like, instead of all right, they'd say, you're right, you're right. It can be very difficult to understand if you're not the native. I would say Harry Potter, so RP is Harry Potter.
Okay.
Or Harry Potter. Cockney would be Harry Potter.
You know, how come, like, the UK seems so small to me as an American? How did there become so many different accents? It's like really fascinating to me.
I don't know.
We don't know, but there are many different accents and dialects there.
If I was saying it, maybe Manchester, Harry Potter.
Harry Potter. I guess take the R off, like the sound at the
We
end.
would take off the H and Potter.
This isn't about my accent so much, but my grandma, she says it like Harry Potter, like more Southern, I guess. And I feel like Southern people, it's so different from any accent from the UK, because I feel like they just draw things out. And I don't even know how that began, honestly.
The Southern drawl, yeah.
And they change A to E sound. Harry, Harry.
So Sherlock Holmes, but in Cockney it would be like Sherlock Holmes. They don't say the H.
Suddenly it sounds so like sassy.
It's more tough, right?
We'd probably say Sherlock Holmes.
I guess for Bristol it'd be more like Sherlock Holmes, like sure.
Yes. Very Bristol. So with RP we would say Batman. It's very distinct, it's Batman.
And it sounds like so sophisticated suddenly.
With Cockney, they would say Batman. There's no T.
Manchester's similar, Batman.
Same for Bristol, like Batman.
Air sound
You say
there.
yeah.
I think it's kind of interesting. It's like with more posh accents, the T is always really distinct. But then for the other two accents, I feel like they just became a lot more relaxed and they just go like bat. Do you guys, you just always understand each other?
Yeah.
Always? Wow. I mean, American accents can be strong. Americans don't really travel that much inside America unless you have family in another state. Then we don't actually meet a lot of people in person with this different accent. I'm sure a lot of Americans at some point they travel and they meet a person with a different accent, but even for me, when people from out of town would move to where I lived in Georgia, they would know right away and they would always like say something about their accent.
Okay, so with RP, we would say horrible, but in Cockney, it would be horrible. So again, there's no H.
Yeah.
They don't say L, so I would say horrible, but they'd say horrible. So it's more like a oh.
In Manchester, it would be horrible. They would say, oh, that were horrible.
That were.
Yeah, that were horrible.
I genuinely don't think I would have known that that is the word horrible if you didn't tell me. Like, maybe I would have thought like oral medication or something. I was like, what?
I guess same, like horrible. The R is like stronger. So Bristol's more like, I'm gonna say like farmer, countryside accent of the UK. So instead of saying Bristol, we might say Brizzle.
Oh. Yeah, you guys don't like T's and H's, and then like the posh accent is very strict about it.
Outbist.
Like,
Is it how are you? Oh, it is. Oh, I'm so smart. No.
We just say like, all right.
Okay, I understand how bisty,
Albisty, okay.
but albist is which is old.
yeah.
Like how are you? So albist is maybe something like your grandparents. It sort of means like, how are you? How's it going?
This is the first time I've ever heard of that. Like, I thought because of my friends, I learned a lot of these like UK slangs, but I guess there is just so much more that I don't know about. Did you like ever use this before?
Not particularly. I think like younger generation don't really tend to say it. Yeah, more like older generation. So Gert means like very nice, like that's Gert Lash. So we have t-shirts in Bristol you can buy with like Gert Lash. It's like a really good saying. So yeah, like very nice, or that pie was Gert Lash.
Oh,
Yeah.
I think the t-shirt is like such a good idea. Okay, you guys, can you see I went to
Bristol.
Bristol?
Yeah. So Arcate means like, I guess if you've done something, you'd be like, ah, look at him, Arcate.
Oh my gosh.
So like my parents use this quite often.
So yeah, this is another one I never heard of.
I've never heard
Me
it.
neither.
Look at that person.
Yeah.
Okay.
What are they doing? Arcate. Yeah.
Wow. None of these feel like real words to me. It's so interesting.
So daps, like I remember in school for like gym class, like okay, remember to put your daps on. Daps are like plimsolls.
Oh. And what is that?
It's like what you use to do PE in.
A bit like Vans shoes.
Oh, you have like a whole other word for that type of shoe?
Yes, but usually we use it for school rather than just everyday life.
We called them pumps.
Oh really? We said plimsolls.
Oh wow.
But you wouldn't really hear that in a shop. If you wanted to buy, you would say sneakers.
Yeah.
We would say trainers. But at school, it was plimsolls because they were specific style.
So like if you get off a bus, you might say like cheers drive, like thank you. But
Oh.
there's like a thing like if you don't say it, it can bring like bad luck as well.
If you ride a bus?
Yeah, so if you're like getting off after heat stop, you'd be like cheers drive.
Oh. When I first saw this, I was like, is this like a celebratory drive you go on when you're like drinking in the car or something? That's what I thought actually.
I can see why you think that. Yeah.
In Manchester, same. Cheers, driver.
Cheers drive.
We say driver, though.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's kind of cute.
There are a few differences with Manchester. So, for example, say school, we would say like school. Happy in normal English would become like happy. We sometimes, as we said, like if you say like I was very happy, I would be like, oh, I was dead happy.
Oh, okay, I've heard the dead thing before.
Yeah, our kid. It's to we go like, oh, our kid is to describe somebody that you know. It could be your family, it could be even friend, but we say, oh, our kid. This one, older generation say it more than younger generation. Buzzing is like excited. Oh, I'm dead buzzing for something.
I never heard that one. It's like lit.
Kind of, yeah.
Okay.
I think we know that, right? Bro is like hot drink, but usually cup of tea. We could also say cuppa, or I'm gonna have a cuppa or a brew.
Okay, brew, I think I could like use context clues and get that one, but copper?
Cuppa.
Copper?
It's basically cup of tea, but slang like cuppa.
I thought you were saying like copper.
Copper. I was like, what? Gagging means that you want to do something. Gagging for something. Oh, I'm gagging for a brew right now.
Gagging and buzzing. It's not cool when I say it though. So I noticed like when you say this, like gagging, it's like the first G is so strong, but then the other two G's, they kind of like fly away. Is that just like a characteristic of your accent usually?
Yeah. I think so. It's the same like with like water in English, like water. Again, something like, oh, that woman, it was very good.
I think the only way we remotely use this is like we say mint condition for something that's like in really good condition. But that's the only time we ever use it like that.
Same thing, just something good. Again, same thing. Dead is like very, and sound, cool.
Really? To me, I thought this was gonna be like the name of a band. Like, it sounds like a really cool band name.
As you say, we don't say like, oh, that was sound, it's more that was sound, that were dead sound.
So like, if you guys were to use your regional, all of these slangs, talking to each other, do you just like understand everything?
Yes.
Yeah.
Why does that seem, that's crazy to me. It's like you guys know a whole nother language.
I think it's like you said, we're a small country,
Yeah.
so we just know everything.
Yeah, I guess it'd be bad if you didn't understand each other.
I thought it was fun. I learned some Bristol.
There were some things I didn't know.
Oh, really? Yeah, I was surprised at that.
I was like, oh, what's that?
For me, everything was new, I think. I learned so much today. I feel like I can take a little tour of the UK and I'll be fine.
Babbers? It's like a Bristolian wine. Maybe it's like a female, aren't they, Babbers?
Is this like endearing?
Yeah, like a homely sort of.
Like, who do you call this then?
I guess you'd say like, you okay, my love? That kind of saying.
It's so cute, but it kind of sounds like grandma.
Right, yeah. Maybe like my parents might use it, or some of my friends do as well.
Oh, to you?
Not to me, but like to each other.
So is it like babe?
Yeah, kind of, yeah.
Yeah, we could say strop, B1. Do you know what strop?
No.
No, she's in a strop.
Bad mood, or like a tantrum. We have one that's very specific to Manchester, but more the older generation. Chode. Oh, I've heard this one a lot. Even my friends sometimes use this. Do you want some chode in school? Can you guess what it is?
I have no idea.
It's chewing gum.
Oh.
Okay.
Oh, okay, that is not gonna be anything near what I was gonna guess.
I'm surprised. I thought people in England knew that one.
You know what I'm feeling is that y'all are really creative. You know, you have like endless creativity with the language going on, and I think that's really cool.
We have
with
random
that slang.
like that just comes up, right? It changes. Even the new generation are making new slang nowadays, so it'll keep changing, I think.
So today I learned British style accents from British people.
If you like the video, please like, comment down below and subscribe.
We'll see you next time.
Bye.